Hey guys, this is Hetu and welcome back to etlqalabs. So we are covering the Informatica series and this is the very first video as part of the Informatica tutorial. And in this video, we will try to understand the introductory part of Informatica. We will also understand first what is ETL and then we already know, ETL, what is ETL, because I have already covered some of the videos before, but then I thought that I will recap it because I am actually doing this whole tutorial from beginning, right? So that's the reason I thought I will cover this, and then after that we will talk about the major ETL component and basically major ETL Informatica component, and then we will see that how do we use all those components and what are the components that are very useful for developer and which of them are useful for administrator, right? And developer or tester, right? Yeah, so let's start then. All right, guys. So what is ETL? ETL is basically it's a process that's having the three phase. One is the extract, second one is the transform, and third one is the load. So these are the three different phases. And this, because of these three different phases, this tool, this is the process. And to perform this process, there are various tools in the market that we will discuss later. But let's try to understand what basically we do in ETL, right? So I have drawn little this picture. Then you can see it here, right? So you can see the source systems. There are various source system. Here I have taken only two, okay? But there are numerous source systems that the ETL tools basically, right, supports. But for now, we will try to understand this entire process, right? So extraction basically is happening. So this is ETL tool, guys. Okay. In this case, we have just taken the Informatica just for our understanding. So ETL tool is basically the Informatica here, and what ETL tool does is basically extracts the data from where the first E is extract. So extracting the data from the multiple source systems here, right? You see that there is arrow mark. So this is something the database, the source system can be database, it can be flat file, it can be CSV, it can be any kind of source systems, right? I mean, whatever is supported, I think multiple source systems are being supported by most of the ETL tools, right? So I have taken for simplicity, let's say the data is actually coming from the database and in terms of tabular format tables. And then we have the flat file. Here also we are getting the data, right? So these two data are actually coming. I mean, we are getting some data from here, some data from here, and then finally we are actually doing transformation, right? So once the data is loaded, I mean extracted, there are a lot of transformation happening in terms of cleansing data or in terms of changing the format, etc. Right? So this job is done by ETL. Extraction is also done by ETL. Transformation is also done by ETL. So if I say that, some people might ask you what kind of transformation. So extraction is very easy, guys, right? There is nothing no rocket science about the extraction. It is whatever is there in the source system. It will just connect. The ETL tool will connect to those source systems. For example, let's say database tables are there. It will just connect it and it will just extract all the data, whatever you needed, right? Transform is what we do basically. Transform is basically performed by multiple readily available transformation, right, in the ETL tool. So these transforms are, I will just tell you one example. So what kind of transformation it might be? So there might be, let's say for example, I have the date column, right? Let's say I am getting some of the data, employee data in the flat file, some of the employee data from the tables, right? So there are, let's say, two companies, okay, and one of the company is actually maintaining the data into database format, and other companies maintaining in the simple CSV file, let's say, right? So what will happen is their format of the date might be changed. Some might say that, okay, no, date of joining of the employee, maybe they can say that 12 December. It can be, DD, MY, MM, YY, YY, this format, right? And some other company, for example, here in flat file, let's say they are maintaining YY, DD, MM, right? Sorry, MM, YY, DD in other format, right? So what will happen is basically when we process the data in ETL, we have to make the consistent format, right? Otherwise, it will not be useful, right? Because we are actually merging the data from these two source systems, right? So this kind of, data transformation are happening in ETL. For example, some filter is required, some invalid data need to be rejected, etc. So all those kind of transformations are there. So whole ETL is basically, centered around the transformation that are provided by those ETL tools. So now in this case, we are talking about Informatica, guys. So there are so many readily available Informatica transformation that we are using, and that is the whole crux of the Informatica, basically the transformations, right? Those are available, right? And what will happen after that? So the transformation, let's say, is happened for, and then after that loading where they will do, they will be loading into the data warehouse, let's say. So it's not that mandatory that they will be loading into data warehouse only. There can be, the data can also be loaded into flat file, right? Here in this case. So, but I have taken it because this is something, the data warehousing, I have taken it from the data warehousing kind of, projects basically. So in typical data warehousing projects, we have the data warehouse here where if entire data is being extracted, transformed and loaded into the data warehouse, right? Now, guys, that brings to another different conversation, right? So what is data warehouse then, right? It looks like both are looks like same, right? Database and data warehouse, right? So yes, guys, there is no other difference because data warehouse are also mm, built on the same database. For example, we are using the Oracle database here. Here also we can use the Oracle database, right? There is no difference. There is no different technology altogether. But this is something. Then there are difference between database and data warehouse. So, so the database and data warehouse are basically different into two aspects. Okay. One is from the usage point of view and second one from the architecture point of view. So when I say usage point of view, so what is the primary use of the database, guys? Database is primarily used for, writing the data into the database and are storing the data. For example, these are mostly the OLTP systems, basically online transactional processing system, right? I will take you example basically, okay? I will show you, then I will tell you, then you will be very clear about it, okay? And what is the primary use of the data warehouse, guys, here? This is basically not for storing the data. This is for basically analyzing the data, okay? Reading the data. Here it is for writing the data. Database is used and data warehouse is basically used for analytical purpose, and we have to actually read huge amount of data from the data warehouse, right? Second, in the architecture point of view, it is also different because data warehouse is basically, it is mostly in normalized form, right? Normalized form, when I say, they are basically having the multiple tables to, I mean, they want to, have so many tables, where in case of data warehouse, we have the flat hierarchy basically. We do not have so many tables basically. The most of the data is basically loaded into dimension and then fact, basically two type of table only here, right? And also there is a difference that, these are basically used using the ER modeling, and this is basically use the concept of dimensional modeling, right? So this is little bit of difference about it, okay? And another thing is the data warehouse also contains the historical data, guys. So it can contain the historical data for, let's say, 10 years, but database is always containing, since this is the production system, or I would say this is the operational system, and we cannot afford to keep the historical data here, okay? Otherwise the system, whole entire production system will be slow, right? However, the data warehouse is basically, it's storing the whole historical data, okay, for let's say 10 years, 20 years, whatever requirement may be as part of our, need, we will be storing those data, okay. And also, guys, I mean, we will see that what is the, I mean, I have already made one video that you can look at it, what is the database and data warehouse and, database concepts and why are they different, right? You can go and watch in the data warehousing section. But then, yeah, I mean, this is just to tell you that, the data will be loaded after ETL. It will be loaded into data warehouse. And then what will happen, guys? There is another level. This level is the very, very business centric layer, right? So this is the layer where the business or the top management basically plug in to the database they can use multiple tools, right? For example, we have tools in the market as well. So for example, we have Tableau or we have Cognos, right? Those kind of tool basically. So what these tools will do, they will be actually connecting to this data warehouse, and they will be fetching the appropriate data, whatever is needed basically, right? So here there is a cube mechanism, right? Cube, or I would say these are this layer is basically the OLAP, right? Online Analytical Processing System, right? OLAP system. And here cubes concept etc. will be used basically to slice and dice the data. But let's not go much detail here, but you just know that this particular BI reporting layer is the only important layer for the business basically. And the whole purpose of building this data warehouse is basically to provide a view for the business or the top management so that they can do some strategic, they can take certain strategic decision, etc. Right? Nobody is going to query into data warehouse from the business guys. Okay, they will be using all these reporting tools to fetch the data from the data warehouse. Okay, so this is typical the workflow of the ETL process. Okay, and when I say ETL, L means it is already done here basically. Target, it's loaded here, it's done already, right? And but guys, this is the extra layer basically, the BI reporting layer, right? So this is BI, okay, sorry, not reporting. It is just reporting, guys. Okay, BI reporting, business intelligence reporting. Yeah. So this is how the the entire architecture is, guys, and hope you understand this. Okay. And I have tried to explain this in some other places also, but I thought that we will just recap it so that we will understand. Okay. Now, guys, what we will do, this entire picture, if you look at it, right, where are we going to work as part of Informatica? So here, right? So this is the ETL, okay? And what ETL will do, basically we will be actually seeing these three component only. One is the source, Informatica, this is nothing but ETL, and then this is the target, guys. We are not going to look at this BI reporting for now, okay? So in our entire series of the tutorial of Informatica, we will be considering source, Informatica tool, and then target, okay? They are the three components that we are going to look at it, okay? Now, guys, why do we use Informatica first of all, right? Why not other tool? Okay, so there are, guys, other tools also in the market available. Okay, and if you remember, I have posted one quiz, guys. Okay, or I would say the survey, and then I have asked, I have needed your feedback that which of the tool is not the ETL tool. Okay, so I have said that Clover DX, there was one Clover DX, and then I said that Cognos, also data stage, and Informatica, right? So guys, that was the quiz, and then I wanted you to tell me that which one is not an ETL tool. Okay, so I'll tell you the answer in this session right now. So guys, the Clover DX is basically one of the ETL tool. Okay, and data stage is also one of the ETL tool from IBM. And Informatica is also one of the ETL tool from Informatica company. And then Cognos is not an ETL tool, guys. Cognos is from IBM. Again, data stage is an ETL tool from IBM, and Cognos is also one tool from IBM, but that is the BI reporting BI tool basically. So that will be actually fitting here, right? Cognos will basically extract the data from the warehouse, right? So if I see the IBM tool, if I can use it in entire process, what will happen is Informatica can be replaced by data stage, and then Cognos, this BI reporting layer can be replaced by the Cognos, right? So this is how it is, guys. Okay. Hope you are able to understand now. So the right answer for that quiz is Cognos. That is not the ETL tool. That is business intelligence tool or BI tool. All right. So let's do one thing, guys. So why Informatica is so popular in the market? Let's try to understand a little bit about it. So Informatica is not only a single tool. Informatica is a company, right? And then Informatica provides multiple tools, right? It provides the whole end-to-end data integration. All right. So end-to-end data integration, data quality, and data reporting, all sort of tool that Informatica can provide basically. That is the reason Informatica is very popular. Okay. You can only go to Informatica and they will provide you end-to-end solution for your data issues or data, uh, data where we need to deal with the data, right? So that is the reason. So it has, let me try to say what we do is here, basically, guys. Let me open Notepad and try to, all right. So Informatica, we will try to understand a little bit about Informatica, okay? So Informatica is a company, right? And this company is having multiple tool, guys, okay? And the tool that we are going to talk or we normally refer as Informatica, this tool is full name of this tool is Informatica PowerCenter, okay? There are other tool also from the Informatica like MDM. There is IDQ, Informatica Data Quality, and there are a couple more, guys, okay? So it's basically um, what when I say Informatica, then we are actually essentially talking about Informatica PowerCenter, okay? And this is very popular tool for data integration, okay? So why we are calling it the data integration? Because it is basically integrating the data from multiple source system into one place and report and loading into data warehouse at one place. That's why it is called data integration, okay? So what kind of solutions that we can build using Informatica, guys? Yeah. So one thing that we should know that, out of 100% market share, almost 70 to 80%, right? 70 to 80%, I think, as per previous survey, I think 70 to 80% market share is captured by Informatica only. Okay, so rest of the ETL tool, which are actually 30 to 20% market share only, right? They are having. So you can imagine that how powerful and how popular this tool is, right? The Informatica. This company is owning actually 70 to 80% of total market share, right? So that's the reason it is very important. That's why I said, yeah, right? So wherever you go for interview, if you say that you are working in ETL, they will expect you that, you know the Informatica. Why? Because you see here that market share and how much companies are basically using all this, right? So 7 out of 10 companies or 8 companies, right? So it's quite a huge amount of percentage that companies are actually using the Informatica. Not only Informatica PowerCenter, rest of the the tools also that Informatica company provides, right? All right. So what kind of solution that we can build using the Informatica, guys? So one thing is that we can do the data migration, guys. Okay. So there is this kind of problems which are there that we can do it. Okay. So when I say data migration, what does it mean? It basically means that let's say I have old database and I want to migrate this to new database, right? What does it mean? It means that let's say I have this one is DB2. All right. This is from DB2. One second. So this is DB2, IBM DB2 database. Okay, IBM DB2. And let's say this is old database. This is maybe Oracle, right? Oracle database. Now, if I need to migrate the data from the Oracle to DB2, what I will do, I can simply use the Informatica PowerCenter here, guys. Okay. And we can design the job and the job can take care of migrating the data. All right. Second thing what we can do is basically we can also do the application integration. Okay. Application integration. Okay. So there can be two application one. Okay. Application A can be integrated with application 2B, right? So application integration is also possible using Informatica PowerCenter. Third kind of solution that we provide is the major solution that we provide is transform, right? Transform data transformation, right? I would say here, data transformation, okay? In this case, what we do, the guys that I showed you, right? So this is nothing but the data transformation, right? We are actually consolidating the data from multiple source systems And then we are consolidating it using the ETL and loading into data warehouse. So this is nothing but the data transformation. We are doing the ETL, entire uh, transformation loading ETL, right? So that is the reason it is called the data transformation, and this is the major and most important aspect of using the Informatica by any organization. All right, and this is the most of the time we are using for we are actually solving this kind of situation using the Informatica. All right, so hope you are able to understand, guys. I mean, what kind of solution that we actually do it. All right, and now also Informatica is also having the cloud version of integrator. Okay, cloud Informatica cloud integrator, which basically having the presence in in the cloud environment as well. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you about Informatica, guys. So hope you understood how important this particular tool is. Okay, and when I am talking about Informatica, I am always talking about PowerCenter, guys. I am not talking about any other tool like MDM, IDQ, or maybe Power Exchange, etc. Informatica Power Exchange is another tool also, right? So we are not talking about that. We are only talking about the Informatica PowerCenter, which is nothing but the data integrator tool. Data integrator tool. Okay. All right, guys. Data integrator. Data integrator. Okay. Now what we will do is we will try to understand what are the different components that we have in Informatica. Okay. So let me try to show you here, guys. So this is this video. Let's go to the next page. And this is where I have listed the components of Informatica, right? So as I mentioned in while installing, the client and server, I have already given you some understanding there. So Informatica, total Informatica, we have two components basically. Whole Informatica Power Center is having two components. One is the client and other one is the server. Okay, so Power Center server. Now, the client basically having the four component. One is designer, workflow manager, workflow monitor, repository manager. Okay, and these are basically used by these components are used mostly by the developer. Okay, except this, other three are used by the developer or tester basically. Okay, now what is designer, guys? Designer is basically to create the mapping. Okay, which means to build the logic we are using. So this is the developer tool. Okay, so this is where we are writing all the code basically, you can understand. Okay, like that. Now workflow manager, to run the code we need to create a workflow, right, in the workflow manager. So we actually have to make uh, how this coding is done. We have to run it, right? So there is a way to run it using the workflow manager. Now if the code is running and then we have to monitor it, whether it is passing or it is failure is happening or something, we can always go and monitor using the Informatica monitor, and Informatica monitor will also tell you how much load, how much memory, etc. Everything it will, you can track it using the Informatica monitor. Okay, the third component, the fourth component within the Informatica Power Client is the repository manager. So guys, this repository manager is basically not used frequently by the developer or tester. It is mostly used by the administrator. It is mostly used by the repository manager is by administrator. Okay, so these three components are used mostly and widely by developer and tester. Okay, this component is used by administrator, who is the Informatica administrator, and then the server part is always used by administrator only. Okay, and server part basically consists of two kind of services. One is the integration service. Integration service basically it is used to read the record and flow basically data from source to target, right? How to flow, I mean, how when you run the workflow, the data will be actually traversing from source to target, right? So this is the work of the integration service. Yeah, it basically does the integration and it will actually finally write into target table. So this is the work of integration service, right? Now, what is the repository service? Repository service is basically another service which actually contains all the all the are it basically maintains all the what how to say objects basically, right? So whatever we are designing uh, in Informatica, everything is treated as an object, and managing all those objects is the job of the repository service. Okay, repository is just kind of storage. Repository is storage, and to store all these things, this service, repository service, is actually taking care of it. All right. So guys, this is a little brief about those components, Informatica components. And now what we will do is we will try to see the practical aspect of it. Okay. So let me try to go to server first. Okay. So there is something called administrator console. I have already done it here. So this is the link guys for me when I install it. Now I have to log in to install to the server, right? Administrator console. Okay. So let me try to log in administrator admin. This is the user ID and password. Let me log in and see that. Okay. And I will show you. I mean, in my previous video also I have shown it, right? I mean, that's where we configure our source, not source guys. We configure the repository service and integration service for our projects, right? And again I will show you here. All right. Now coming back to, so here this is the server part, right? And here we can see integration service, and we can see integration service and the repository services. Okay, two services we can see here. What about client guys? Client, we can see all these four components actually. Okay, so how do we access that? Let's say I just type designer here, and let's see whether we are able to. So this is designer, right? Just double click, and I think it will open up the designer page guys. Okay, you see here we can see the designer page now. Okay, now let's say I want to log into this particular repository. Okay, now let's try. Okay, so here you go guys. Okay, I think it's taking a bit of time, so just allow some time. Meanwhile, okay, it's coming up, the administrator. And this guy, this particular tool, I mean, this particular administrator part is taken care by only Informatica administrator. Okay, you can see here, right? Informatica administrator, and this is the job of Informatica administrator. So he can, or he or she can actually start the Informatica services or stop the Informatica services, right? This is the job of that, right? Informatica administrator only. Okay, now just I logged into one of the repository. Okay, and this is the repository, and what is this guys? This is the folder. Okay, and now we have logged in here. Okay, we have logged into this particular repository. What is that? Infa etl underscore repo, right? So this is the repository that we have logged in. All right, now what we will do is, okay, let it go first. Now I will talk about the designer component. Okay, so as I said that the client contains four different module, right? Or I would say four different components within that client, right? One is the repository manager, you can see here. This is the designer. This is the manager, workflow manager, and this is workflow monitor. So what we do basically, as I said here, we basically write all the coding into designer only. Okay, so designer is D right here. So when I go here, I can see, you can see that mapping designer is open already. So this is nothing but the workspace now. Now within the designer, we are in designer guys. You see here, we are in designer. If I click to something, then it will open up another page. Okay, for example, let's say workflow manager. So it will open up another page. You see here, right? It has opened another page. But let's go to again designer, right? So designer is having 5 different workspace guys. I will show you, and that is very important. So if you go to tools here, we have got source analyzer, we have got target designer, we have got transformation developer, maplet designer, and mapping designer. Okay, so these are the 5 different components within the designer. And for now, what we will do is this is the source analyzer, guys. So this is what we do in the source analyzer. We basically, import the sources. Whatever source system is there, we have to import it using the source analyzer. So Let's see. I will show you. So when I click on this, it will open a source analyzer here. You see, right? Now, if I go to sources here, I can import it from database. I can import it from the flat file. I can import from COBOL, XML, etc. I can import for PeopleSoft also. So there are multiple options. That's where I can import the source systems, right? Now, when I need to take the target also, how I do that? I have to go to Target Designer here. And within Target Designer, I can import from database or import from file. Same kind of option is there here also, right? So this is nothing but we have to basically import the source and target in the mapping, right? Uh, so that is the reason. These are the prerequisite for any of the mapping that we design, okay? Now, third one is the mapping designer, guys. We will not talk about transformation developer and maplet designer now. We will cover these two separately later point of time. But for now, most of the time we will spend on mapping designer, source analyzer, and target designer. Okay. And let's go to mapping designer. Let's see how does it look. Okay. So this is like that. Okay. Now what we can do is in the mapping designer, we can actually import the source. So I can go to view here, for example. Okay. What we can do is we can actually import. So here I have not actually imported any source and target. That's why I cannot see anything. But yeah, if you have anything, you can simply drag and drop here, and it will be coming to this workspace. Okay. So as I said that these are the 5 different tools within that. Okay, within the designer, and they are nothing but this place is called workspace, right? Workspace is basically where we are actually importing or where we are designing our mapping, etc. Okay. So that's what I have mentioned it. There are 5 workspace, guys. Okay, but we are only talking. We will be only talking for at least few days. We will only talking about source analyzer, target designer, and mapping designer. We will not touch these two component: transformation developer and maplet designer. Okay. So this is how it is. And if you look at the other tools, guys, okay, so this is within the designer. Now we have repository manager, we have workflow manager, and monitor, right? So these are the 4 components here also they have mentioned. But these are again, I mean, these are part of designer only, right? But you can go to this, that. These are the 4 client components, okay? All right, guys, I think hope you are able to understand it. And what we will do is, I think this is what, okay, and all right, let me show you. So now this is what the client is, and now I will show you the server, right? So this is how we can see the server, right? So server is having basically the integration service as I showed you in the previous session. So here I have 3 integration service that I have configured and 3 repository service also, right? So here it is a integration service, this is repository service, and corresponding to that actually I have opened up here. Okay, you see that, right? Info etl underscore repo. So this is the repository. Okay, all right. So what we can do in this one, guys, as part of administrator, I think you don't need to bother too much about it. This is completely admin work. But then if let's say there is some services down, for example, okay, so let's say if I need to start it, let's say this particular integration service is down and the data reading is not happening. In that case, what I can do is I can just go and I can just reboot it or restart it basically, right? I can select it and then I can restart it. Let me show you. It's taking a bit of time because Informatica is really very heavy, tool, and we all need to be patient enough to, wait for Informatica respond, right? So let's wait for some time, and then I'll show you basically how you can start and how can you stop the services. Okay. All right, guys. So if you see this Informatica Info ETL repository, so this particular service, right? So this is the repository service. So this is up and right now it is running, right? So it says the Informatica Power this PowerCenter repository service is available. If I want to say that I want to just disable it, okay? So I can disable it, guys, okay? If I disable it, then I will be disconnected from my repository here. You see that this is the repository. Okay, let's try to see that whether it is happening or not. So let's see, okay? So it says that wait for all the process to complete. I will say okay. So this is disabling the service, right? Now I should not be able to connect it even if I try to connect it, guys. Okay, you see that stopping repository, it is on designer, right? We are actually trying to stop it here, where we are actually trying to stop or disable it here, but it immediately got disconnected here. You see that? You see that here, right? It is stopping repository services, which means if while connecting to repository or while connecting to designer or any of the tool, any of the component, if you are seeing this kind of issue, then you have to ask your administrator or admin that he can check whether the whether the repository services are up and running or not, right? So in this case, I will show you now. So guys, this is saying that this is disabled, right? This service is disabled. If I say that, if I try to again, if I let me close it, let me try to log in, and then what kind of error I am getting, we will see it. Okay. So if I see that designer, I should get the error. Okay. So this is the repository that I have disabled it. Now let me try admin. Okay. It is saying that failed to connect to repository, right? It is not giving enough idea about it, what is happening. But let's say if I try to uh, connect to maybe this one, all right, because this is up and running, it should allow me to log in. Okay, if I show you, see, it has logged in. I am able to log into training underscore repo, this particular repository, but not on info ETL repo, right? Because I have disabled it here, right? So when I say it enable it, okay, I can enable it, guys. Okay, enable the service, which means I am actually restarting the services here. Okay. All right. So let's wait for it. And one more thing, guys, I would ask you to check one more thing. Okay. So there is something called services here, right? So if you're not able to connect to your repository, you must check these things. Okay. So here is a Informatica service. You have to make sure this is up and running. Okay. And also, if you are using the Oracle database for your repository, then you have to see that all the services for Oracle are also running. Okay. Here. You see that 1, 2, 3, 4. So make sure all of them are running fine. Then only otherwise you will get the error. You will not be able to connect it. Okay. Now you said that the power center, this repository is available, right? Available, which means I should be able to connect it. So let's try now this time whether we are able to connect to this repository or not. Okay. Now guys see. It didn't ask me because last time it got failed, but it has connected this time, right? So I'm able to connect to this repository. So this is how you have to make sure, repository service integration services in repository. And if you're not able to see the data, reading, etc., and it is not, transferring the data from source to target, you know that there is some problem with, your integration service, because integration service is responsible for, reading the data from the source and transferring it to all the transformation and then target, all right. So all those things are done by integration service. So you have to make sure that these services are up and running before you basically start your work, right? So this is what I wanted to cover as part of this is very first session, guys. And the next session I'm really going to start so next session what I'm going to do is so if you are able to understand this, if you have any if you need any more help or understanding, just comment down on the video. I will be able to help you. And from the next session, I'm thinking that I will try to we will try to see the workspace basically, right? How to import the source, how to import the target, etc. All those things, right? So various kind of source and target, we will try to import it, okay? And importing is also one of the important, task that we do before starting our, the even before starting any kind of ETL mapping, okay? So let's try to focus on that. Okay. So what we will do is I'll tell you here. So in the tool, we will go to source analyzer and we will try to import the various source systems. Okay. Which are the source systems are there. And similarly for target also, we will try to see that. Okay. How do we do that? Okay. So this is the basic thing, and at the end we will try to just after importing we will try to configure one sample workflow, and we'll try to run it and see that whether data is loading or not, right? So that is going to be the next session, and that's all for this session, guys. I think this video became little longer, but then I thought that I will cover most of the things so that it will really set a good context for you to understand the future videos, right? So that's the reason I covered this part, and hopefully this really makes sense to you, and you are able to understand what we discussed. And if at all you need any help, do comment. I will be able to help you. Okay. And yeah, guys, one more request. Since we have started our ETL learning or ETL learning today, from today, I mean Informatica series today, it is very important that you also have all the setup on your machine so that you can follow me. Okay. And whatever I have covered today, just try to explore it. Whatever I talk about, tools, client tools, and server tools, integration service, etc. Try to do little bit around this, and then you will be able to understand from the next session, right? So that's all for this video. And one more request: if you have not subscribed, your first time watching, please do consider to subscribe. I have put so many amazing videos, and so many good things are yet to come on this channel. All right. So that's all, guys, and see you soon with the next video. And until then, happy learning. God bless you. Bye.